2,000 days later. January 30th, 2020 is when I first created my Rec Room account. I was just a 12-year-old kid who probably should have been on a junior account, looking for a free game to play with my cousin, who also should have been on a junior account, with our new VR headsets we just got. And the first time didn't go so well. I made it into the old registration room. My hands weren't tracking. You know how PSVR is. I thought to myself, this game is trash, it doesn't work, and I closed the game. But my cousin didn't. He actually gave the game a try and continued to play it, and he found out how fun it was. So I decided, why not? Let's give this game another try, which was probably the best and worst decision I've ever made. So I got back on, went through the tutorial, and joined my first room, which was, of course, the rec center. But it looked a little bit different than this. Hold on. Yeah, that's better. Anyway, I joined the rec center and started playing with all the fun games they have, like ping pong, which is now gone, darts, and basketball, which we still have. And while the game felt so unique and these games were so fun to play, eventually it got to the point where I needed to try something else. So I put down my frisbee and decided to go find something new to play. Featured rooms, huh? I wonder what they got in here. Which brought me here. The Deep Aquarium, the first game I ever played on Rec Room. I still remember it like it was yesterday. Brings me nostalgia just looking at it. It's a super cool room and it showed me what was possible in this game. And that's what got me hooked. I got back on with my cousin and we started playing every chance that we got. Like anyone else starting this game, we explored all the Rec Room originals. From paintball, to dodgeball, to Rec Royale. We had so much fun exploring this unique gaming experience that we've never seen in anything else before. Everything was unique and magical, but nothing stuck as hard as the quests. Initially starting with Golden Trophy, and slowly but surely we gave every single quest a try. Although we couldn't beat any of them, experiencing the new levels was more exciting than anything we could imagine in any game. I still remember the first time I beat any quest. It was in Golden Trophy. It was just me and 3 other randoms, and I was so excited when we made it to the end. It felt like a real accomplishment. I even went running around the boss hitting him with a sword, thinking I was doing all the work. The same thing so many of us have complained about other new players doing. Yep, I was that guy. But at the time I had so much fun doing it. Slowly but surely, I made my way through all the quests. I don't remember the exact order that I beat them in, but what I do know is the last one I beat was the Rise of Jumbotron. This quest took me countless tries and fails to beat for the first time. It's funny looking back at how hard they used to be, and now we can just beat them with our eyes closed. I continued to grind these quests, getting better at all of them, and collecting all of the cosmetics. Grinding for quest cosmetics was one of the funnest gaming experiences I've ever had. Now around that time, all the quest cosmetics were very achievable with not too much effort, but there was one set that stood out in difficulty. And that was the Crescendo S+. For I and so many other people, getting this set took me and my cousin so long. I even remember seeing people sitting in the rec center wearing it, thinking that I would never get it. But we never quit. After so much grinding and so many failed attempts, I vividly remember making it to the boss fight with only 1 down for the first time. I remember how fast my heart was racing, and we quite literally screamed out in joy when we saw that we got the S+. It felt like the most important thing ever. Even though the game took us about an hour to complete, and all we did was hide the whole time, it felt like an amazing accomplishment. I would continue to crave this feeling going forward. Another staple in my Rec Room journey was meeting the 3rd member of me and my cousin's group. It was in a public Jumbotron game, 3rd act, at this exact location. At the time, I was wearing my fresh Crescendo S+ that me and my cousin just got after grinding for it, when someone by the name of Mystic, who you may have seen on earlier videos of my channel, came up to me and told me that it scared him that I was able to get Crescendo S+. I told him I could help him get it, so I friended him. We didn't end up completing that Jumbotron game in the end, but our journey did not end there. Then I ended up inviting him to my dorm room. We were hanging out up here when my cousin got on, so I decided to introduce them to each other. I came to find out that my cousin and him met previously, and just like that, we started our second crescendo grind, in the end helping him get all 3 S+s. We remained best friends after that, and we played with him any chance we got. And we even remain friends to this day, 5 years later. He's evolved greatly over the years. He even gained the ability to clone himself in real life. Another person that very much defines my Rec Room journey is another person you may have seen earlier on my channel, Sourworm. Another former ILS champion and speedrunner, and one of the main people who got me into speedrunning in the first place, which we'll get into later. Like always, me and my cousin were playing public IL games when we ran into him. Seeing that he was another good player, we knew we had to play with him more. We friended him and ended up getting our first IL S rank win without even knowing it. Sourworm was so excited, just like we were for our Crescendo S+, but we didn't even know what it meant at the time. But when we learned what it was, the grind for the IL S rank started, and with that, our friendship started too. Another person I still talk to occasionally to this day. One more person I need to mention right now until later, and once again another person you may have seen in earlier clips on my channel, is WaitedAtol. If you're questioning my drip, this is what he used to wear. Fire, right? And yes, I still have it saved. If I remember correctly, this one kinda went down like the one with Sourworm. We met each other in a public Jumbotron game. We saw that we both had the S-rank Jumbotron set and decided to continue questing together. Another one I'm still in contact with today, and we still like to play BO3 Zombies from time to time. He has had many speedruns and videos on his channel, so I'd recommend you go check him out. Of course there's more people to mention later, but for now we're going to move on. The next journey we're going to go over is the journey that brought you to this video right now. After much time being put into all the quests and many wins being racked up, I decided that it was time to start beating them solo, which led to my very first video, Soloing All Quests, Part 1. Golden Trophy. This was the very first quest I ever soloed, and man did it take me a long time. This wasn't just a first try video, it was actually a stream, with many parts. But eventually, after countless tries, I got it. Once again, it felt like a huge accomplishment, but this time the accomplishment didn't feel quite as big. Moving forward, I continued the series of soloing the quests. Every time the accomplishment felt a little bit smaller, making me want something more. But before we get into that, let's go back a little bit. During my early times in Rec Room questing, my cousin that I always played with had me beat in every single quest for wins, and I wanted to change that. I hopped from quest lobby to quest lobby, seeing which quest would be the easiest to pass him in. I saw that at the time he had only 2 IL wins and I had 1. So I knew this would be the one. This is where the IL grind truly started, all out of competition with my cousin, which ended up leading to bigger and bigger competitions. Back to where we were. With me having all the quests done solo, and on my way to achieving all Rec Room quest cosmetics, I wanted something new to chase. After discovering a speedrunner named Bothaya and seeing his runs, I decided to start speedrunning. Remember how me, my cousin, and Sourworm grinded out our ILS ranks? Now us 3 together decided to start speedrunning, which you can see early on my channel as well. At first, like everybody, we sucked, but we continued to chase better and better times, optimizing our routes and shaving the time off. That's when we learned about Speedrun.com, a collection of all the official Rec Room speedruns, and we saw something. ILS any % world record. It actually wasn't that much faster than our current time. This motivated us even more to continue speedrunning. With countless failed attempts, countless times coming up short, and countless crash outs, we slowly but surely optimized our routes and shaved off the time, until, eventually...
10, 20... Yes! 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 Please.
We got it. This shitty world record that was barely even a world record, but it felt like we were on top of the world. As you can see, just like the S+, I screamed out in joy. I even went and told my parents about it. Sure, Fusi, Skipper, and Benjamin had a much faster time then, but our time was shown #1 on Speedrun.com, so we didn't care. But the journey didn't end there. That trio did run some more and improved our time going forward, but eventually due to Sourworm breaking his headset, it ended shortly after. Although me and my cousin never got any significant runs after that, we did upload many more, but eventually my cousin fell out of it too. But that was just the beginning of my ILS speedrunning journey. As you can tell, this was an amazing time for me in the game. This is when I thought it was the greatest game ever. I was semi-known in the community, I had so many good friends, and it still felt fresh and exciting, and just so much stuff to do. It felt like it would last forever. And I wish. And right about this time is where the turning point started. It was around this time that me and my cousin were making the switch to PC VR. We were so excited to have a new optimized version of Rec Room, with more potential to speedrun, but that never really happened. Not for us, because my headset was having troubles connecting, so it made our consistency on Rec Room start to fade. By the time I got it working, Mystic and my cousin weren't playing the game as much. Sure, we had some good times after this, but this was the beginning of the end. My friends playing less, and the game feeling less fresh with Rec Room's refusal to add new stuff, along with the prices going up, the charm of the game started to fade. My unreliable PC VR didn't help either. There were no more spamming PlayStation Party invites, and sessions that went as long as our parents would allow. It felt more disconnected as the community started to fade. Although the game was fading, once my headset started working, I wasn't done. And my friends still occasionally played. It just felt like there was downtime in the game. I didn't think this would last forever, and I didn't think this would be the start of a downfall. During this time I continued to speedrun, but this time I was doing it solo, getting my times faster and faster while I was getting better and better, until eventually the real world record holders, Fusi and Skipper, decided to add me to their trio. This is where the grind for the best aisle run of all time started, slowly shaving off working towards the first sub 7. And on January 1st, the start of 2022, we got it, the very first sub 7. History had been made. It felt like a great start to the new year. Adding on to that, my solo grind continued, and not long after I became the first person in Isle to break the 9-minute solo barrier, a run that Fusi said would have to be near perfect to achieve. In addition to that, not long after that, Skipper and I beat the 7-minute barrier as a duo as well, meaning that I now had the solo, duo, and trio world record, with all 3-minute barriers belonging to me. This felt like a new beginning, like the game was coming back. I watched all of those runs so many times. New year, new minute barriers, what could stop us? Now at this time, not having much to do, I created a video that would soon become the most viewed video on my channel, gaining over 15,000 views. Every skip and glitch in Isle of the Lost Skulls. This video gained a ton of views and helped many people get into speedrunning. Getting lots of comments and likes felt nice, but you know how I asked what could stop us? Well, this is what stopped us. There was nothing left to do. My friends had basically quit the game, Rec Room still has yet to give us anything but some bad racing game, and all the possible minute barriers had been broken. Now when I got on, I saw nobody in my friends tab I wanted to join, and no game I wanted to play. So I left. And I left for a good while, in fact. I did get on somewhat frequently because this game was all I knew, but it wasn't common. Not common and not for long. During this time, my solo speedrun was broken by someone named Dougie, but I didn't really care to speedrun anymore. I was burnt out of the game and didn't want to put all of this effort into getting a new solo when no one else seemed to care either. Well, that's until someone new came onto the scene. I think you may recognize him. River. Don't tell him I said this, but probably the best Isle speedrunner of all time. His runs started popping up on my feed, getting better and better, and before long he beat Dougie, becoming the new world record holder, and was getting closer and closer to the first sub 8, a minute barrier everybody had thought was impossible. At first, I can't lie, I felt some resentment towards him, knowing he was destroying my run and going to beat my minute barrier. I did try a few times to beat his solo, but I just didn't have it in me anymore, so I gave up. But one day I added him on Discord and decided that if you can't beat them, join them. He was clearly much better than anyone else I've ever played with before, and I knew new world records could be beaten if we came together. So that's what we did. River and I got Skipper back to speedrun again, and it didn't take long for us to beat the previous trio world record of 6:55. In fact, we destroyed it by almost 20 seconds with a 6:36. After that, me and River came together and beat every single previous Isle duo world record, and posted them all on the same day. That was probably the best run in Isle history for River, not gonna lie. He got all the solos, trios, and duos all at once. But that return didn't last long. After that, speedrunning felt pointless. Me and River still played consistently because we had nothing else to do, but it didn't feel the same. We only posted a few times after that when our original duos got voided, due to updates making them impossible, like the ramp glitch getting fixed, and because of some competition from Salt and Brofist, which are two other cool people that I'll mention. During this time after speedrunning, me and River kinda just hung out around rec centers. We also hung out with Salt and Brofist a lot, and everybody at this time was kind of in agreement that the game was dying. I I do wish I met those two people earlier before the downfall of the game because they're cool people. Even through our rivalry, which is long over, I'm still in touch with Salt today, but we never get on anymore. We get bored instantly nowadays, with the only thing there being is the quests we've already beaten hundreds of times. And one last good thing that did happen to me on this game. This one will sound crazy to some people, but I actually met my girlfriend of over a year and a half on this game, who at the time of the release of this video has now flown to see me for the 3rd time and is currently with me. We met in a public rec center, right where I'm standing, where there was some little kid complaining about not being gifted the correct thing he wanted. And that's what started our first conversation. The spoiled kid complaining about getting the wrong gift caused us to start talking and start playing together. And then coincidentally a month later, I happened to be traveling about 40 minutes from where she lived, so I got the opportunity to meet her in person. The rest is history. But other than that, this game has been on a steep decline. Getting rid of many beloved things, from the original UI to the original bean body, and my favorite thing that they got rid of, the weekly challenges. And adding things that nobody wants, like AI and full body. That stacked on top of the raising prices and the refusal to add anything. And the refusal to add anything if it won't give them direct profit is what makes this game a cash grab and feel soulless. Anything that made it unique they removed. They broke promises. You can still see on their website that they will not do any exploitative monetization tactics. But with the rising prices and everything being put behind a paywall, like new games in the Roomie being locked behind Rec Room Plus, and removing the weeklies so they can simply re-release skins for a price. They're doing these tactics that they said they wouldn't do. I know Rec Room's a company and they have to make money, but raising all these prices aren't helping, it's actually hurting. Rec Room has confirmed they're having financial troubles. They had to lay off 16% of their staff. They won't do what the community wants. We want new games. They're not adding their new games. They want us to do it for them. They lost the vision of what the game is supposed to be. They're trying to be a game that they're not. They want to be Roblox, when in reality, they should be Rec Room. It's been 5.5 years since I've joined this game. 2,000 days, and I still haven't gotten to experience a new release of my favorite part of the game, the quests. All this time and money I poured in this game, I've still never experienced getting a new one, and I know many of you feel the same way. I have a petition going asking Rec Room to add a new quest. I truly believe if enough of us come together and demand for a new quest, Rec Room will see it, and maybe we'd have a shot at experiencing a new quest just once. If you're interested, the link is in the description. It's free, can be done anonymously, and it only takes a few clicks. From a 12-year-old kid with no responsibilities to an 18-year-old getting ready to go to college, still on this game 2,000 days later. I watched it fall from a unique, magical game that felt fresh into a cash grab Roblox clone. But I'm still grateful for this game because it brought me so many memories and amazing friends into my life. I'll always root for this game and I hope it does better in the future, but I'm not so confident. Thank you so much for watching to anyone who made it this far. I made this video for me because I wanted to tell my story in a video format. I did it for fun and I highly enjoyed telling it, so I hope you enjoyed listening to it. If you did, please leave a like and a sub. We'll see what the future for this game holds. Sign the petition if you're interested, and I'll leave you with some of my favorite clips from my Rec Room journey. Goodbye.
Yes! 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 I feel like you're the type of guy to die to a plate. You're the type of guy to die flipping that.